Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is a Q&A that I received on School of the Ascending. It is an online digital school and space dedicated to help you elevate, evolve, and empower into the greatest version of yourself. The question that I received was, why does everyone reflect different info or beliefs on this journey, and how to know what is real and what isn't when it comes to spirituality? So in this video, I'm going to answer that question. Now, if you're new here, my name is Yasmin from The Door to Value on all social media platforms. I'm a psychic medium, channeler, energy intuitive, healing catalyst, and you can find School of the Ascending exclusively on Instagram for written infographics and more spiritual content available there. So of course this video will be shown on different platforms. That way those of you on YouTube and TikTok can get the different versions. And I will share it with the Door to Value Instagram as well. Okay, so just to answer this question that I received, because it's a little bit of a 3-question part here, if you will. Now, how do we know what is real and what isn't when it comes to this journey? Well, you have to sort of have that baseline, okay? Some of us have that baseline of having been brought up with a particular religion, and others have been brought up with no religion at all. And that's okay. That is your baseline. That is your baseline, because that is the base in which your journey, your soul was required, and therefore also what you signed up to experience, because there was a certain level of knowledge you needed to attain from that experience, whether that's through a religion, no matter how corrupt it was for you in your upbringing, or whether that was through a particular faith, or whether that was, I'm hearing agnostic. So maybe some of you guys that are catching this video could be agnostic. My body feels very like itchy. I do have clouds like cat hair on me a little bit, but it feels kind of itchy. And so I'm feeling guided to say that it's almost like some of you guys that are catching this video might be at this point where you are shedding your skin, you're shedding your layers of what is no longer serving you in this vessel from the paradigm and the narratives and the programs with which you were brought up with, or that you were aware of. Maybe you were around that. Maybe, yeah, some of you guys are not religious or spiritual at all, and that's totally okay. But everyone, is in a different baseline, and I think that's where you need to start from. Okay, what were you taught about faith, spirituality, and religion? And from there, what experiences have exclusively happened to you that have made you aware of what else is out there? Okay, because when you're brought up with a religion, let's say, for example, that's the experience that I can more strongly, relate to or explain here more deeply. I still identify with my faith, but it's more expansive now, I would say, just in the sense of what I was taught versus what I have experienced along the way. And that's kind of just what happens, because you're taught a certain thing, you experience a certain thing in life, and then more things happen along the way. That's just like naturally what's going to happen. So where was the baseline for you, and what happened after that fact for you to change up your perception on things a little bit? Some people might have really been in a religious cult. I'm seeing maybe some viewers who could be watching this who came from a cult, a religious cult. I don't know why I'm getting the Carolinas here, but take what resonates. But I'm getting South Carolina specifically, but and North, but South. So we're channeling here, so I am a channeler, so sometimes things will come through as I'm explaining these videos. But yeah, and maybe some of you guys who were in that kind of realm of life before are now not believers. You're non-believers in this omnipotence, if you will. And I think that maybe you have to ask yourself, well, how did you come across this video? Because first of all, social media is measuring everyone's thoughts now, like through Wi-Fi. Like that's why you're seeing advertisements of things that you've talked about or thought about, right? Obviously, thought about, especially, because talked about, maybe they can hear you, but thought about, come on, not a coincidence. So obviously you've been thinking about this if this video came in your way. There's a reason for that. But even more so, have you had conversations about this kind of stuff with your friends recently? And so maybe this is circling back to emphasize, how do we know what is real, what isn't? You kind of just have to go with what experience you're having after the baseline of what you've been taught, and from there really understanding that whatever feels real for you is being made to feel more and more real for you. Now, this is in regards to a faith-based spiritual path that is of unconditional love and light, that is of pure white light. The only religion that we're not including here is those who believe in Satan. Sorry, you're not included in this, because that's not even a thing. And I think people who believe in that energy, they don't believe in the omnipotence. They don't believe in humanity. They don't believe in soul's mission. They believe in a very different path. I think they believe in the sense of free will, which I understand that, but it's like free will is part of the game here. And I think that that's just something that we have to separate ourselves from. You know, this video is for those of you who have a baseline, even if you're atheist or agnostic or whatever, you're non-believers at this point. How do you know what is real and what isn't? You don't. Okay, but you were brought up on a baseline, and you have to compare your experiences from that baseline from that. But those of you who could be, and I don't think these kind of people will come across my content at all, there's just no way, because the alignment isn't there. But if there is, happens to be the fact, because I'm getting asked to bring this up, yeah, then maybe that is the case where, you know, you do believe in dark energy, and I can't help you here with that other than letting you know that what you believe to be real and what isn't is actually, you know, the satanic religions believe that free will is like the real thing, but in reality, there's a greater force that will always trump free will, and that is fate. Your soul has fate. There's things that are written that will always override anyone's free will choices. And that's the thing, you know, you can be free and experience free will and freedom in a religion or a particular faith-based practice within spirituality. I think that's very much possible, but we don't say that free will trumps all things. It just does not. And I don't know why I'm getting that, but maybe that's what that religion preaches about. I'm not really sure. Yeah, how do you know what's real and what isn't when it comes to spirituality? It's again just reiterating the experience that you're having and following people who you're also in resonance with. What is speaking to your heart? What is getting reminded to you over and over again? These signs, these synchronicities, because the way that the creator, the divine source creator, this omnipotence has created creation is so in front of our faces that we would be foolish not to acknowledge that. You know, seeing synchronicity is not satanic. It's not something that is new age. It is something that has always been around. It's just that we as a collective have not had the consciousness level, the knowledge to be able to be observant and aware of what is in front of us. You know, you could be stranded in a boat in the middle of the ocean, and 5-6 people could be coming to help you, and you're rejecting all of them. But well, those 5-6 people were the people that were the signs. They were sent to help you so that you're no longer stranded in the middle of the ocean. So I'm getting reminded of that. I'm not sure if that's in the Bible or the Quran or where that's from, but it's coming through for me. I'm not really sure what kind of story that is, but it is coming through as something that could be like a biblical or something in a religious text. The story of a man who gets stranded in the middle of the ocean, and God sends 5 or 6 people or however many people to come help him. And each time he's like, no. And then he's like, God help me, God help me. And God's like, I sent people to help you. You just were stubborn. You did not recognize that. And that's the thing. Some people have their ego. Sometimes they don't see what is in front of them, and that's on you. And I think how to know what's real and what isn't is spirituality. It's like life, you know. To learn how to ride a bike, you had to practice. Trial and error. You have to discern. Trial and error. To know who you are, you had to figure things out. Experience new things to figure out what you like, what you don't like. So this is how it is with spirituality in a way. You can't really cherry pick, but what's revealing itself to you. This is when you need to become aware and observant of what's revealing itself to you and what has happened to you since that baseline of what you were brought up with. What new experiences came along the way through people, relationships, from school, from new wisdom you've acquired. And then what voice has been speaking to you? Because I'm getting that some of you guys, you know, feel like God's voice came through in a time of desperation and need. And that's exactly what it is. Like, what came through for you? That is when you can decipher what is real and what isn't. We don't shame people. We recognize who is of the light and who isn't, and those who are praising Satan as a religion is not of the light. I'm sorry to say, that's not the light. But everything else, I'm hearing up for debate, meaning there's so many spiritual and faith-based practices out there, faiths that exist, that you kind of have to just reassess within your own soul journey. I'm seeing like a tunnel vision, like just take the wall and put it around you and just put the intention to focus on what it is that your soul needs to become aware of, so that you can create that connection between a higher power and why you are here on the earth. And that is when you will realize what is real and what isn't. Okay, that's what's coming through. Everyone has different info or beliefs in the spiritual journey because they are learning different things, but at the same time, we all have similar beliefs. And I think that you have to assess, again, discernment, what is resonating with you and what isn't, right? What has happened in your journey that connects you with other people that have also experienced the same thing? Because there's not a single person alive on the earth right now who's the only person that experienced one thing and no one else around him or her didn't. Like, no, like, whatever you've gone through, other people have gone through as well. Whether you come across them or not in your lifetime, I don't know, but you will somehow. And that's the power of social media and connection, you know, or even in real life, how you are being, what you are embodying, what you are thinking will call those people into your physical reality. Okay, so, you know, people reflecting different info or beliefs. What do you believe in? Stop focusing on other people. You know, what do you believe in? And then the right people, the right energies will align with you. And that is when you can get clear on that connection, that heart connection between what your soul is here to experience and learn, what you believe in, and this higher, bigger picture, this higher purpose of what is out there. Okay? The omnipotence that is out there has created a plethora of faiths and in different regions. And whether you choose to believe this or not, at the end of this life, it all comes together. We're going to see the beings that we connected with in our particular beliefs. Okay? And how do I know this? I've worked with a lot of clients. I've worked with a lot of people who have passed. So I know what this looks like, and you know, you're going to take what resonates, but you know, you got to focus on what you believe in and what resonates with you, and not on everyone else's noise, because at the end of the day, you got to discern. All right? I hope that message came clear. Please let me know if I needed to be more specific. I thought it was going to be a little bit more specific than that when I initially intended on channeling through this video, but it feels very general to me. I don't know. You guys are going to have to clarify with me on that. But Spirit is kind of channeling these messages through me. Archangel Sandalphon is here, okay? Gabriel and Raphael as well, channeling these messages through me that are basically putting it up to you guys, right? Giving you the remembrance that this is ultimately your journey, and you have to decide how spirituality and faith is in resonance with you. What do you believe in? And how are you seeing that beautiful magic of what you believe in unfold in your everyday life? What is that communication between the omnipotence and the higher realms bring you forward into your reality so you can become aware of that power? Remember the saying, as within, so without, as above, so below, as the universe, so the soul. All right? Sending you love and light.